So I've been meaning to film this video for a while. It's about this scary thing that happened to me in San Francisco. Sarah's here.
Hi.
But you already knew that. This is the same night.
Exactly.
Just going up a different day. So I've been hesitant to make this video because he scares me. He's one of the scariest entities I have ever dealt with. And you'll see why.
Like, it gives me like chills just thinking about it, and I didn't even get to see this guy. I just saw the reaction it left
it
on
makes
her.
my skin like hurt.
Yeah. Well, that's partly because it actually did hurt your skin.
No, like it makes my like skin behind my ears hurt.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I don't know how to explain
that
it.
just gave me chills.
So where do I start? Do you want to start why I was at your house?
Okay, so we at the time lived hours apart from each other, and we barely ever got to see each other other than this camp that we go to once a year for, it used to be 2 weeks and then changed to 1. We were upset about it for a long time, and then we just got over it. Or we never really did, but forgot we cared. Anyways, so I invited her over for Christmas time, and
New Year's.
well, right after Christmas, like literally like a day or two after, until New Year's, for a New Year's party that we were having, that we decided we were going to throw annually. And of course, then that only lasted until I didn't live there anymore, and then it didn't happen anymore. But so we had pretty much like a whole week to ourselves to hang out and stuff before this party, and so we decided. Yeah, and a week after. It was like a really long vacation. You guys know how it is in high school. They give you so many weeks off during that time. So we decided to take advantage of it. And it had been probably about 6 months since we had seen each other in the summertime. And so she came over from where she lived at the time to where I lived at the time, which was near San Francisco. And I've gone to San Francisco probably hundreds of times. And I go all the time with my friends that live near San Francisco, and I don't live there anymore, but I still know a ton of people that do, so I've been. And so I decided that we should go with her because she doesn't get to go to San Francisco very often. And, you know, San Francisco, there's bad parts, there's good parts, but we like San Francisco, me and my friends. So I decided I wanted to take Hannah along with us. And this is what happened.
So we had gone with her friend. He's a guy. I'm not going to name any names. Let's just call him Brad.
Brad.
And so her and Brad were hanging out. You know, I was there too, but they were really close at the time.
Yeah.
And so they were walking ahead of me, discussing pictures and whatnot.
We're both photographers, so, you know, we're all sitting there fiddling with our cameras, walking ahead and doing whatever we do as photographers, taking a bunch of pictures of streets and cool stuff.
And I was walking behind them. Not safe, not in San Francisco, probably not anywhere, but there was nobody on the street. It was fine.
We were also probably pretty naive compared to where we are now. I'd say at least a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know.
So we were walking. I was behind them. We passed by this empty. I don't know if the whole thing was empty, but this like skyscraper, the bottom was empty, like gutted and everything.
Wow.
And I walked by, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw something. So I looked in, and there's this man. He is like probably like 6'4", somewhere around there, and he looks like Santa Claus, except for he doesn't. That's the only way I can explain it. Like, he's got the beard, but he's bald, and he's in mining gear, and that's what makes me think he's from when the big earthquake happened. If you don't know about that, it happened in like
a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it hasn't happened since, which is strange because they're way overdue for one, but that's another story. Anyway.
So
tell he was like evil at that time, or did it take a little bit before you did?
He scared me, but I didn't know what to think.
Right. Because I know, like, sometimes you can tell right away if somebody's evil or not, but there's, you know, sometimes where they're kind of just like staring at you or hanging around. You don't know if they really are or
and
not.
I glanced back to make sure Sarah and Brad were still there.
It's so funny to think of his name as Brad, but go on.
And they were, so then I glanced back, and he was gone. It was like 2 seconds.
Wow.
No human could disappear in that time. It was a big old open building. And yeah, that's where that day left off. I completely forgot about him. We went back to Sarah's house, and Sarah can tell the next part of the story.
So, we were back at the house. It had been, what, a couple of days at least, you know. We were getting closer to New Year's at the time. And I had, you know, daily chores that I had to do. You know, my brother and I both had daily chores that we had, and we switched off on them all the time. So that way it didn't get, you know, annoying or just, you know, the whole jealous thing where, oh, you get the easier job, blah, blah, blah. We always had that bickering argument. Anyway, so I was doing the dishes, and Hannah, you know, was like drying them. I was handing them to her and putting them in the dishwasher, and she went to go get her phone.
For some reason, I went the long way around.
Yeah, which is just like, you know, our house was like, so our front door was in, obviously, the front, and then to the one side there's our living room, and then to the other is our kitchen, and then there's a hallway straight down that leads to like another hallway.
You can go either way in the kitchen.
Yeah, you can go either way in the kitchen.
Which, Sarah's room was right next to the kitchen.
It's like a box, and so the kitchen, and then there's a little hallway where the dining room is, and there's a little hallway on the other side where the living room is and where the bathroom is and the door to my parents' room, and then there's a long hallway that goes down to the other side that has my brother and I's rooms connected to it, and then also has that doorway that leads to the hallway that connects to the dining area. So it's a whole wraparound. And so I was in the kitchen. She goes the long way around through
for no reason at all.
Right. There's like no specific reason, but she goes past the front door, down past the hallway that's connected to the living room.
And this is where it gets interesting.
Right. And I'll let her say this because I can't do it justice because I didn't see it.
So just before we went to go do dishes, I noticed that her brother's door was shut to his room. Which, you know, that's no big deal.
Right, he wasn't home at the time, so it made sense that his door was closed.
And so, when I went back down the hallway, his door was open. But in the doorway was that man I had seen in San Francisco, glaring at me. And I got so scared, I stopped for a second, and then I ran down the hallway.
Like, didn't you, like, turn around and, like, run back towards my room?
No, I hadn't even gotten to your room yet.
Oh, wow.
And so I got in Sarah's room, and I think I shut the door.
I think you did, too, because I remember walking in after I did the dishes, and I was like, where the heck did you go?
And this is the part that scares me almost, like, the most.
Well, yeah, it definitely scared me the most. I mean, beyond seeing somebody in my hallway, I don't want people in my house that I don't know that are ghosts, but beyond that...
I, felt burning on my arms, and I looked down, and there's a lot, like a scratch up both of my arms. Just one.
It's not like a hand. It's like a scratch. It's like a really long scratch.
It's like if I took a pin and I took a red marker and drew a straight line down to my elbow.
Oh, great. Oh.
But it was bright red.
And I can remember, like, I can still remember seeing it
there was no
coming
blood.
in. Right. It didn't
burned just like a cat scratch.
Right. It, like, scratched off the skin, like the top layer of skin, but it didn't hit obviously the blood to the skin, which I think that hurts more than if you, like, actually hit blood, because it's like a paper cut.
A little bit more scary if I had hit blood.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely. I mean, at least it wasn't that hard that it did that.
It only lasted for about 10 minutes, but then Sarah came in the room.
And I happened to see it, like, on the one arm, and I was like, what the heck happened? Did my cat come and scratch you? I had, like, 3 cats at the time, so it's like, it's possible. My cats are friendly, but it's possible that one of them did not like what she was doing and scratched her. But I think she would have come out and said something, because, you know, she's pretty clear about whatever she is feeling. And so if she had been scratched by my cat, she would have been like, Sarah, your cat scratched me. Do something.
Yeah, it was not an exciting moment in my life.
Okay. I was like, what are you doing?
I was going to turn right here, but we're driving, if you didn't know. If you didn't catch my last video, go watch it.
And subscribe while you're at it.
Yeah. So the stuff didn't stop there.
Yeah, it only, I think, got worse.
I don't think it got worse because it didn't touch me again.
Right, it never touched you again. But it did get, like, scarier that it kept following you around and it didn't just leave.
A couple days, or a day before I was supposed to leave, they had the house packed with a bunch of kids that I knew, but I didn't know.
Right.
And so it's kind of making me nauseous because I don't like people. Big social anxiety.
Right.
And M&M's.
Caramel
sorry.
M&M's.
Not sponsored.
Unfortunately.
But I went to go sit next to her brother because I had something to tell him. And as I was getting up, there was a water bottle in the cup holder in the couch. And it lifted up, shook, and fell down.
Right, and I didn't even know about this part until probably just like 20 minutes ago. She was telling me, like, we were talking about what we would film, and she was like, let me talk about this, and then she's kind of like went into what she was gonna talk about, the different like points, so that way I kind of at least had an idea as to what exactly was gonna happen, because, you know, obviously I didn't get the whole thing because I only saw the scratch, but I wasn't there for the things that happened, so I just like got to hear the story. And so this is the first time I'm hearing some of this stuff, and, you know, I only heard the parts that she chose to tell me at the times because it was so scary that she didn't want to, you know, talk about it.
And then I want to say it was a year.
What was that?
A mouse.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it was like a year. No, it couldn't have been. It was like 3 months after.
Yeah.
I get my times mixed up, but I had not gone to college yet when this next part happened. So it was about 3 months.
Okay.
I was hanging out with Amanda. You guys will kind of see her in my next aquarium vlog, but we didn't have time to film and we're really exhausted. But I was at her house and we decided to go for a walk, an evening walk. It was almost dark, like give or take 15 minutes before the sun went down. And we started walking. And we were just talking. We hadn't even talked about anything scary, really. Talking about boys, I think. Typical. So all of a sudden she's like, what is that? And I look up.
Oh, so she saw it too.
And there's
I
a
didn't even
shape
know
of
that.
a man holding a lantern, walking down the road.
This is the first time I've heard any of the parts that happened with Amanda, so it's going to be shocking to me as
And
it is
so
to you.
we're like, kept watching him for a few minutes, and as he got closer, we could feel how like mad and evil he was.
Oh,
and
shoot.
so we look at each other and we're like, we gotta run.
Oh,
And
great.
we don't run.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no, none of us run.
So we take off, and I look over my shoulder, and he's like on the side of the road,
Dashing
like
at you guys?
5 feet
Oh
away
my
from us,
God.
standing there staring at us.
Okay. It would have been worse if he was like running after you and he was getting
But
closer by the
he was
second.
a good 20 feet down the road, and then I looked
I can
behind me.
visualize it.
He was 5 feet.
Okay.
And
Oh, Lord God.
so we run to her house, run up the stairs. We locked the front door.
Okay, good.
We were home alone.
Oh, even better.
And we lock ourselves in her room. All the lights are on. And then finally her parents come home and they're like, what are you doing? So they're really Christian, so we didn't really want to tell them anything.
Right. That makes sense.
Because he had disappeared, and all that was left was a lantern hanging there after we looked back at our house.
Oh, lovely.
And so then finally, I was supposed to stay the night, and then I was like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
So I did.
I would want to.
And that was the last time I have seen him. And if he...
I think he's gone. I don't think he'd wait this long to come back if he was going to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's been, what,
But the problem is
4 years?
Yeah, but I'm scared because I just went to San Francisco.
Right. Well, I don't know
But I
that
have been there recently with my mom. And
Yeah,
nothing
you've been...
happened.
Yeah,
But
exactly. You've been
every
there a few
time I go to
times.
San Francisco, I get sick.
True.
The only thing I came back with
I wonder if
was a
that's
cough and a sniffle.
I wonder if that's kind of like a side effect, I would say, like, how you, like, subconsciously know what had happened the first time you kind of went to San Francisco, so now you kind of associate that with a sickening feeling.
Well, when I went there with you, I came back and I had, like, almost bronchitis.
Yeah, it was like
And
a
then-
really bad cold.
And
It's
then,
horrible.
then I went with my mom.
Uh-huh.
Or no, I went with the youth group,
Yes.
and I had went there sick, but I came back even sicker.
Yeah, food poisoning, right?
No,
That was your mom.
I came back with a bacterial infection in my lung and some sort of it was like a disease, one that goes away after a while.
Right.
Another one in my lungs.
Oh.
I couldn't breathe, and after that, I went with my mom, and I got.
Was it food poisoning, or was it the yeast infection?
No, it was some other, like, flu. I got the flu for like a week, and then I went back and I got food poisoning. Not even just food poisoning. It was E. coli poisoning.
Yeah, it was like horrible.
Projectile vomit all over the window poisoning.
Ugh.
Like, I was driving my mom home from surgery, and I couldn't, like, nobody would let me pull off, so I threw up all over the window.
I remember that. You were telling me about it.
All over the car. Gross story.
Yep.
Disgusting. But it was the worst. I've never thrown up that much in my life, and I've been a very sick kid.
Right.
Like 110 fevers.
Yeah.
Kid.
I honestly wonder if that, at least some of it is associated with the feeling of being back there where, all the him happened.
Yeah.
Because it was so bad. But I mean, there's no way that all of that could. Maybe it's just the place is really bad juju for you. It's
That,
possible.
or, the city is really dirty. But
True.
to get sick every time. I mean, I have an autoimmune disorder, disease, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That could be it, but I don't think so.
Yeah, because I've never gotten sick, but
I go to
haven't
Fresno all the time, and that's a dirty city too.
True. And there's plenty of other cities that are just as dirty. Like Merced.
Sac?
Well, Sac in certain places, Merced in certain places. There's a bunch of different places that are a lot like that. Where
Yeah.
if you go to the wrong part, you're not going to come out of that without getting at least a cold.
So yeah, that's my story on the man who tried to kill me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what to call him. He was the worst entity I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was definitely up there on the list, if not the worst. So.
So yeah, please like and subscribe. So yeah.
And have a good night.
I'm going to put Sarah's YouTube channel in the link below.
And you can subscribe to my channel, and I will have videos from tonight as well. And I will have plenty of other videos with Hannah along the way. And we do all kinds of sorts of crazy things, from photo shoots to ghost stories to makeup hauls to everything. We love everything.
I do apologize for the lack of light. We are driving.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, what? When you
But
come
just
into this
think of
video.
it as a podcast.
Yeah.
Play it while you're doing your homework.
And I mean, you can kind of see my face a little bit. It's like a shadow. See, I can see my hand right now. And there's times when we've passed by lights where you can see us a little
Yeah.
bit. But
I wanted to tell these scary stories in the car was the best place to do it, because I don't want to talk about that in my house.
yeah, you don't want to bring that evil juju into the house. So it makes a lot of sense. Anyway, whenever you're watching this, I hope you enjoy it and
have a great day.
And have a great day or night or sleep or whatever it is you're doing.
I don't think you'll be sleeping much after watching this, but
Maybe
I don't know. I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Oh, I won't either now. All right, bye.
Bye.